I've been given a new well, but I think it needs a little processing. Here in single well view, the sonic log is quite noisy compared to the relatively smooth gamma ray log. Let's apply a simple filter to the sonic to see if it can be improved without changing the overall character of the log. I can select the Process tab of the single well view and create a new curve filter process for this well, and call it DTSM, short for Sonic Smooth. By changing the suffix to a generic name of smooth, I can play around with the processing parameters and see dynamic updates without having to reselect new output curves after each edit. Finally, I can select a specific curve mnemonic, or, as in this case, a generic class as an input curve. Once the input curve is selected, a filtered version is created in the Curves tab of the single well view. The curve name is listed in italic font to show it is being dynamically calculated on the fly. The curve can be dragged to a new track, or, for a more direct comparison, it can be dragged into the original log. To see the differences, it is then necessary to change the display properties of the filtered curve. The curve filter process has several algorithms and parameters to choose from. Let's take a closer look. The first choice is to filter the entire log in one pass using a transform. Here you can see the options of low, high and bandpass filters, as well as a wavelet transform. The low-pass filter with default parameters provides a curve that is probably too smooth for this workflow. The second choice is to use a sliding window and analyse the local moving window of values. There are many algorithms to choose from. Let's try a simple average. Now let's compare that to a medium filter. And finally, a trimmed mean, where an upper and lower percent of extreme samples are removed from the sorted values before averaging. It is also possible to change the weight applied to each sample being averaged. The default equal weight is strong, and so let's compare a linear weight and a smoother Gaussian weight. Finally, it is possible to change the size of the sliding window. A large window gives a very smooth curve. Making the window smaller will honour more of the original samples. I'm happy with the filtered curve, so the last thing to do is to tidy up the well display. Turn off the extra track, turn on the original log, and change the display settings for the filtered log. Great! One last comparison of before and after, and I'm good to go.
If you have questions or would like to discover more, then visit our website at www.dug.com. And remember, have fun with Insight.